All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome in Lightrod, Twiz, Matt, Mellybub, Got You Sauce, Shock, Ferox, and Nathan. And also Ferox is on the mic with me. Hello, Ferox, if you are ready to reveal yourself. Yes, hello. The song today, I believe, that is playing is Ferox's favorite Tetris Effect soundtrack song of choice. And he said...
I'm getting called out.
I don't think that's a call out. It's more of a, just sharing your interest, Ferox. And I believe I haven't listened to this track that much. I'll be honest.
Secrets right now
Because I'm sorry, that was internal. That was meant to be Sorry to leak that information.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Super secret. Ferox does not want you to know.
Got it. Well, that must be your secret behind your score attack abilities as well. Is that what you listen to when you're playing score attack, or am I going too far with this?
No comment? I played the fifth.
Okay. Well, welcome in everybody. Welcome in Nedlow. And we're about to get started. And I know there is a zone battle tournament happening simultaneously. So if you're playing in that, we'll work around it. Us casuals can hang out here. And we'll definitely show that. We'll show Tazago and Zone Cup 3 some love after we are done here. We'll raid them here on Twitch. But yes, it is score attack night. We're going to do some, likely some ST stacking, some Tetris stacking, and all things in between. But yeah, we have Ferox here on the line, and Ferox can correct me per usual if I am incorrect on anything, especially because you are a strong score attack player, so it'll be nice to have your insight if we have some high-level games here.
I am in the process of making a spreadsheet here that tells you a current Tetris and T-spin pace. Per level, or actually no, that would be an interesting thing to have.
That would be cool. That'd be a nice. I'll need some Wolfram for that or something. One of those math.
Feeds.google.com. All right, let's go.
Okay, so I think we're ready. Twiz and Rhythm are in here. I see Rhythm rocking the quest once again as our quest community showcase player, unless Night Hunter shows up as well. But I think when you two are ready, I'm ready. Twiz is readied up in lobby, and we can get started. And we might cut this short. We'll see what our turnout is, because I know a lot of you are playing in that tournament as well. All right, looks like they are ready to go. Good luck, have fun, you two. And yes, we are playing some score attack, so we're likely not going to be seeing the craziest strategies out of the gate here, but if we have any high-level... ST stacking, of course, we'll break that down. One thing I like to recommend, Ferox, to players that are newer to score attack, just keep it simple. Go for your Tetris wells. Don't misdrop so often. Yeah. Keep that back-to-back bonus, especially. So if you're only scoring Tetrises and or T-spins, that is recommended. But yeah, anything you would suggest just to people starting out? I know a lot of people like to overcomplicate it. Everyone has their own approach. If you're having fun, going for T-spins only and stuff out of the gate, aka I keep bringing up this... example, but Oliver, who has been playing in our community showcases, is kind of a newer player, but is really into the T-spin setups and stuff like that, right? Do whatever you want to do, yeah. But what are your recommendations if you're brand new to score attack?
I think you covered most of it. If you're new to Tetris in general and you want to play score attack, I think just like what Shen was saying, just stick with go with the basics first. Try to stack as cleanly as possible. Go for Tetrises. Once that gets pretty comfortable, and once you can do it in the higher speeds, you could also start looking at different ways to do T-spins. You could always go the 6-3 route, which is pretty flexible, where you put six columns of your stack on the left side and then 3 columns on the right. You try to go for Tetrises down the 7th column, and from there you can go ahead and experiment with trying to set up T-spins. It's kind of tricky to do that in the higher speeds, especially once you get to around speed 20. So you could also look at stacking how you would normally do with 9-0, or you could also do 7-2 stacking, where instead of 6 columns on the left side, it's 7.
Mm-hmm.
And usually that gets you into stuff like LST, ST. You can probably do infinite T-spin triple stacking from that as well, but there's a lot of different ways to stack decent patterns. But even then, it's still pretty flexible because you still have that reliability of something that's pretty easy enough to go for Tetrises. And then once you're done with that, then you can go into the whole, okay, let's go ahead and look at LSC. Let's go look at T-spin triples. Let's go look at ST stacking and push yourself to get higher and higher scores at higher levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a journey, especially if you're starting out. I'd say take like one thing at a time, try to master it before you try to do too many things at once, and it'll feel more natural, and you'll just kind of autopilot. I think at a certain point, if you practice enough LST, you're not going to be thinking so much about it. You'll be thinking more about like the macro and decision making, depending on your opponent, right? Which is part of the fun. Yeah. So if you do want to like take the risk of going for LST, I say the risk. Bear with me here. For me, it would be a risk because you're say too far behind. It'll become more like autopilot at a certain point if you just practice it enough. With that being said, to the two players at hand here, I saw that our quest player, Benji, aka Rhythm, on the Discord, was fishing out some T-spins early on. And if you are fishing for T-spins, it's not the worst thing if you have to clear some lines, just because that 2 lines of efficiency matches a Tetris, right? So it's okay to make some mistakes when you're going for T-spins, but generally, of course, you want to try your best to maintain that back-to-back bonus.
Yeah. I think also another important thing for score attack is that it's okay to break back-to-back a few times, but remember that you want to be going for Tetrises and T-spins as much as possible, because that 1.5 multiplier is pretty helpful, especially on the the higher speeds. So for a Tetris, it's only 800 points, but with back-to-back, you multiply that by 1.5, and now it's 1,200 points. When you then multiply that by like the speed level of, let's say, 10, you go from 8,000 to 12,000. So that's a pretty decent sized up change.
Twiz was setting up a donation there. It's kind of a tricky solve to manage to set it up with a T piece. You never really want to set up a T-spin with a T piece because then you'll be waiting for another T piece, but had it in the queue there, so it wasn't too bad.
It's good to count a 4 here. They might be able to find another T-spin.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm over here thinking about a DT cannon, but this is a pretty simple T-spin double.
Ends up being a single, not quite filled out there on the right.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have a, what do you call this? 080 from, there we go, filling in the left.
Okay, there we go. Perfect timing on those eyepieces.
I'm coming up with things. 080, I kind of like that. But there we go. This is a really nice attempt. Yeah, so if you're stacking 09 in your comfort zone, there is a lot of accessible T-spin setups when you prop an S and Z piece to the right, and or an L or J, depending on which side of the board your well is on, right? For easier donations or more entry level, that isn't so much of a pattern stack, but more of just something you can kind of go for depending on your upcoming pieces or... how do I put it? More freestyle.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to set up stuff like donations to help out with going for T-spins, especially if you don't know any of the more common patterns that are used.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess to an extent they are donations, like no one thinks about it that much, but like ST stacking is just a donation setup. Or not a donation, like a floating. Actually, no, it's not even a floating. It's a ZS prop. I'm thinking about Kaidens, not donations.
Donations, yeah.
Because like Kaidens are usually seen as donations.
Yeah, donation gets thrown around a lot for pretty much just being like, how would you define donation?
We love
I
Tetris
guess.
brain rot.
Yeah, I feel like it's I always see it of like setting a raised T-spin a little bit. How do I put it? That might not be the best wording, but
I think usually that's the one that people think about is usually like, oh, there's a floating T-spin or like a gap underneath
T-spin,
the T-spin setup, but it isn't directly on top of the well. I think I normally call floating T-spins donations when your well is covered by something that isn't the actual T-spin.
Right. Yeah.
And from there, you set up a T-spin setup. So like even if it's like one hole in the stack, and then it goes to another hole. Currently, that hole is your well because you got to get through it before you get through it, or before you get to the rest of the stack. And so if you set up a T-spin above that, or with that side still covered, I technically consider that a donation, even though it's not really as big of a donation.
Yeah, and for those of you that follow classic Tetris, the term delayed burn gets thrown around a lot. It's kind of like an efficient delayed burn is another way to look at it.
Yeah.
But we are entering that post 15 gravity, so nearly instantaneous. It won't be instantaneous until speed level 20, where the piece just will drop down to the bottom no matter where you are at the very bottom of the board, right? So yeah, we'll see which player can handle higher gravity at this point. If Rhythm is competent at high gravity, you can get caught up at this point, right? Like 166k isn't too far behind, especially if you consider Tetris's and T-spins scale with the speed level. So that score can be trounced if Rhythm can keep up some back-to-back bonus here.
Yeah, especially right now that Twiz has to do either some very interesting T-spin setups, or he's going to have to find a way to stack for Tetrises, because they keep burning. So this is a really good time for Rhythm to catch up.
Welcome
they are behind by a few lines too.
Yeah, we're playing some score attack. Oh, also, Ferox, do you have the multi-chat link? I can get that to you. Might be this.
I do not.
Okay. It should be this. If not, let me know. But yeah, we're approaching. We're almost at level 20. The level will increase every 10 lines, with the exception of if you start on a level above. I guess level 1 really. If you start at level 9, it will begin at level 90, right? Or 90 lines cleared, or 10 lines cleared. Or 100 lines cleared, excuse me, for level 9.
Okay, I heard you say level 90, and I was about to say, hold up.
I had like 3 mistakes in my wording there. But I think at level 9, it'll increase at 100 lines, right? But if you start at 10 or above, it's always going to be 100 lines.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what NES does.
Yeah.
It's just, in this case, I don't think this was a hex bug error. I think this is just an intentional design.
I think it's safe to say this mode was inspired by classic Tetris, kind of having like a modern spin on it, right? Especially knowing Green Tea was behind it.
We love Green Tea.
Recently got a Tetris Grandmaster 4 clear for Master Mode, which is cool.
Yeah, I think the second one to do it on TGM mode, not on SRS.
Second or first?
Or TGM rules.
Who was first on TGM rule?
Yoshi.
Oh, Yoshi. Okay. I actually didn't see that one. I saw Green Tea said in my YouTube feed. Like, oh, that's probably the first one. Okay. Sorry, Yoshi. But we're in the late game here, and Twiz is maintaining that lead, so it's going to be pretty difficult for Rhythm to get caught up here, unless Rhythm can bring some A game. A lot of Tetrises and T-spins. Like, this is still beatable, especially that Twiz is kind of going for singles and doubles. But there we go. There's a Tetris from Rhythm. Keep in mind, though, every Tetris is 4 lines, and that means every 3 Tetrises you're going to increase a level. If you can manage to mix in T-spins, which are only 2 lines, and match that efficiency, that would be ideal as a comeback mechanic, even if you're not that comfortable with it, right? It's like, might as well go for it because I'm so far behind. And that's kind of like part of the multiplayer aspect of this, is trying to take risk and change up your play style depending on how your opponent is scoring, right?
Yeah. It looks like we're starting to reach the final speed levels for both players here. Twiz at 25 and Rhythm at 24. The score can be reached, but it's going to be even more difficult now. And it looks like this would be it.
Dang.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, good round from Twiz. I think Rhythm was keeping up in that late game. I think Twiz just got a nice early lead. More efficient in the early game and kind of like maintained it from there. But that was a good matchup. Yeah. GG's to you both. And we will move on into our next group, which will be or who is it? Is it Jabberbox
Toad's free
and
now.
Rum, I believe? Jabberbox and Rum, if you're listening. I'll let Ferox figure out the matchmaking here. But
Yeah.
GG. Green Tea has it on. Oh, I thought Green Tea. Maybe it was the Tetramino skin or something. I thought it was ARS.
Yeah, I thought it was running out rate who got it on SRS.
Running out rate. Also next, yeah, all these players are also excellent. Score attack players, honestly, or master mode players, due to knowing how to navigate those high gravity play styles, which come with TGM, right? Welcome in, Mikey. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, welcome in, everybody. If you would like to participate tonight or in the future, I know we already have a bit of a queue, and we want to keep it a little bit shorter tonight so we can show some love to the Zone Cup tournament, which just started a little bit ago. Community tournament ran by Tizago. Join the Discord at discord.gg/enhance. Make sure you have the community events role, and you will be notified for any future community showcases. We do this just about every Friday, unless we have an event going on or I'm traveling, something like that. Or if there's a community event happening, I guess I was a little late to realize that the Zone Cup was happening tonight, so apologies on that for those that are playing in both. But if you are playing in both, the more Tetris, the merrier, right? And sometimes you're going to have some downtime in the tournament anyways, so. Okay. Oh, it was running out rate. Got it. So I get less 4 clears total. I didn't realize running out rate also tackled it. I guess everyone's loading at a similar pace, which makes sense that you're going to have like a lot of clears happening simultaneously now that everyone's practicing, right? And getting the system down.
Yeah, no, the only question is going to be what's after that reset. Or rewind, I mean.
Yeah, I
think every player so far topped out right after.
Yeah. I mean, that setup is pretty tricky, right? And that's part of the reason, like, even on practice, like, there's only so many times they've done it, right? Got to the 2600. But anyways, we are playing Tetris Effect Connected. But if you are looking for some high gravity Tetris action, of course, we got Tetris Grandmaster 4 on Steam as well. But okay, so Jabberbox and Rum, you are up if you're here. Okay, Rum is on the way. Is Jabberbox? Neither player's in the lobby yet, but we're waiting for you. And if Jabberbox is not around, maybe we can fill in here with either Matt or Twiz, if Twiz wants to play again.
We could get Nathan in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Nathan's in queue. If Jabberbox doesn't show up, let's get Nathan in for sure if you're around, Nathan. At the point where we could probably just do Nathan now, and if Jabberbox does show up, just throw him in there. Throw him in the gulag, the Tetris gulag.
We are definitely putting you up to fight each other to the death. If you survive, you fight me. Simple as that.
Nedlo, I believe you are in queue.
Yep. I also believe you are in Zone Cup, so I think after this match we'll do Toad versus Grassbell, and then we can do Netty versus Nedlo.
Okay.
Gallo Sauce is also in the Zone Cup, so you might have to do those 3 matches.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
In sequence.
If needed, we can move on to next one. Or I see we have people in the queue anyway, so we can replace some of the Zone Cup players if needed.
Yeah.
All right, looks like both players are in here. We got Nathan and Carbuncle. Good luck, have fun, you two. When you're ready, I'm ready. Level 10 CPU with +1. Wonder what that score even comes out to on Score Attack.
What's up?
Twiz was saying Ferox versus level 10 CPU with +1, so buff +1.
I think I win.
Really? Okay. I think
I think I win. For level 10 on the... It scores around like 1.2 million or something like that.
Really? Yeah, I think it like artificially probably doesn't do as well in the late levels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a now if it's like a true score attack bot and it knows how to do ST, LST, Infinite TST, then I'm cooked.
That's the thing. It doesn't really go for the super efficient T-spin setups, right? Does it
Yeah.
just Tetris?
No, it goes for T-spins.
It does go for T-spins, okay.
I think it was just trained on like a neural network. It was like a standard one. And then after practicing, I realized that like there's some good T-spin setups. It's why it doesn't always go for like stuff like STSDs. But we do have a round starting here, and instead of talking about AI, we can talk about the round that's going on right now.
We had a T-spin triple open from Carbuncle here on the left, which might be... Yeah, I feel like Carbuncle is a character from Puyo Puyo, right? So Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah.
I think if you play that game, you might be more likely to come across T-spin setups. Given the nature of the multiplayer there, you got to be super efficient.
Yeah. I do like this idea here from Nathan, trying to keep that row one garbage, or I guess a hole in the stack, all the way at the bottom, so you don't have to worry about it and just upstack for Tetrises. But it looks like we might get a second one here.
Yeah, I know I want to say the boomer term for it was anchor point. I don't know if people still call it that. It's probably on the hard drop.
I know if anchors, but yeah,
it's a similar vibe. And this is something you do in classic Tetris too, where you delay that row until you have like the perfect clear to maintain that perfect efficiency, right? So Nathan can stack over this until say they get a perfect Tetris and then row or column 2 opens up, right?
I believe that one for the modern term is counting to 4.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, because I know right now this, I think for classic, I don't even know if they still call it dirty Tetris. I think they might just call it a like slightly soiled Tetris, or because it's
dirty
like
Tetris
it's not
is
as high.
It's flexible, right? Usually it's when you have a higher Tetris scored with I wouldn't say 2. I guess it's up to interpretation, but I wouldn't say 2 rows up is dirty. You got to be a little higher. It gets a little the higher the dirtier it is, and maybe you can have your own fun words for that.
We at the Enhanced Experience Twitch channel are going to be finding new ways to artificially categorize certain things of this game. Nathan ended up switching over to a 3-6 stack. Rough placements? I don't know if those were misdrops. I think they were intentional setups, but like trying to go for the T-spin as fast as possible. Carbuncle's just been going for Tetrises and without as many misdrops as Nathan here.
Yeah, I think aside from that T-spin triple opener, it went right into the left well.
Yeah.
And is behind the line, so has a little bit of a lead, but this is pretty close. 20k is like one misdrop from Carbuncle here, and a bunch of lines cleared, and Nathan can be back into it. But Nathan's already halfway up the board, so we'll see how Nathan decides to try to mitigate some of the mistakes that were made, right? Try to efficiently work through it.
Yeah. Usually the most efficient way is finding T-spins and Tetrises as donations.
Right.
But sometimes just taking a few skims is also as good.
This is fine, yeah. If you're more comfortable doing this, like sometimes if you go for T-spins, you're just going to make your board worse, so...
Yeah, this is not a promotional exam on like how to downstack efficiently. Like I am not your proctor for that, as much as I like to joke about it.
And I mean, we don't want to compare everyone to the best players, right? So it's like, do what you're comfortable with, and very likely you'll net higher scores that way, right?
Yeah.
How dare you not downstack the same way Siake Gohan would, Nathan? That's kind of what I want to.
I don't even think Siake Gohan needs to downstack because I don't think they misdrop.
All right, so we got a Tetris set up. Little tricky getting the long bar over there without a higher center. But pretty good board state now for Nathan to start scoring some Tetrises. There we go. But Carbuncle's looking pretty comfortable. They're in the lead They're going back and forth on the lead, but in the lead in terms of efficiency, as you can see by the line count. So you can see Carbuncle's a little bit in the past. But yeah, Nathan sticking with this 0-9 well. Carbuncle's a little more freestyle-y right now. Is that a word, freestyle-y? It's gotta be.
It is now. Again, we at the Enhanced Twitch stream
Yes.
are coming up with new words.
You can't question us. It is a word.
We are going to add it in the official Enhanced guide. The beginner
guide.
guide on glossary. Yeah, the
I
community
think it's
guide,
the
glossary
expert
term.
guide. Yeah, not beginner.
The expert guide is going to have a glossary of all the words we come up with. Let's go. For a second, I thought Carbuncle was going for a magic key, which is a really interesting and kind of obscure T-spin setup, where you go for a T-spin triple and then an Imperial Cross. If they saw it, then congrats, but the pieces were just not worth going for it there. And if they didn't see it, it's all okay, because I think right now their main target is down stacking. We're just barely able to get that O piece to the side.
Yeah, this is pretty close. Nathan is starting to get a nice score lead to the point where this is nearly even given the line count, right, and how the players are doing right now. Because I don't think Carbuncle's really taking advantage currently. They're both kind of...
Carbuncle is behind by 20 lines, so
yeah.
It's going to be really interesting.
It'll be close. If Carbuncle can utilize some efficiency during that 20 lines when trying to come back. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult.
Looks like that is what they're trying to do here. But it looks like, yeah, just wasn't the right timing with any... Ooh! T-spin.
Ooh.
Could might be a T-spin single, but... yeah. Oh.
I think, just having trouble with the 20G, it seems like, more than anything. We saw that the idea was there.
20G is really tricky to play, especially if you only know one of the rotations.
Right,
some of your kicks don't work, and I think Carbuncle right now is triple rotating through a lot of these. So a few of these misdrops do seem to be from that. But it looks like they are finding a nice down stack at the end of the day here. Unfortunately, couldn't get the O over to the right side, but they do have... Okay, they still have the down stack, but Nathan is getting high up here.
Nathan did manage to mix in a few Tetrises, which helped. It might be crucial here, honestly, given that this game is as close as it is. Any efficiency is going to be good to cement your lead.
The higher the speed level goes, the more important these last few... I believe they're called difficult line clears. Tetrises and T-spins. Yeah. Again, we're making this up as we go.
If Carbuncle can find a few T-spins, it seems like the idea is there. It's just the 20G management is tricky. Yeah, if you never play in 20G, it really will throw you off. It's funny how like some amazing Tetris players will really crumble in 20G just because like they've never really played like a 20G Tetris game.
Yeah.
Or focused on it in 20G
unfortunately mode. A really important thing about 20G is that you kind of want to make sure that the center of your stack is as high as possible, or at least higher than the rest of your stack, so you can get your pieces to the left and the right. And Nathan tops out. This is only 100,000 points and about 30 lines, actually. So very doable, but like Carbuncle needs to find some T-spins, or probably what might be easier, especially in these higher speeds, some Tetrises.
Let's see, it's about 2K per line.
About 2K per
40
line, and it's
lines?
about 16 per Tetris.
Yeah, this might be line-outable, but I don't know, given what we've seen so far, if Carbuncle can play on over level 25 effectively, right? That's when you're going to really start to feel it.
And we're about to see that right now. 1 line left. There's a speed kick. Yeah. They almost got the L in there, though.
But yeah, survivability is kind of the name of the game here. Nice down stack. Because it is line-outable here, yeah.
Oh!
Huge down stack.
They can get this into a... Ooh.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
If they were able to get that
really
into a Tetris, that would have been it, but...
No pressure.
Yeah. Okay, they're seeing it. Oh, we're almost there. 1 line. 1 line!
No! Oh!
No!
No! No. Or yes, if you're Nathan, but that was close. That's as close as it gets.
That is a really close score here, yeah.
Literally 1 line difference.
GG's to both players.
Same level. Yeah, almost same line count too. So just like literally one. Nathan was like more efficient by a double or a triple, I guess, or even a single over the 4 lines. Or wait, no.
No, it's the
other way around.
Really came down to just who was slightly more efficient in the down stack, and this was a really close round.
Yeah, very cool.
GG's to both players. Shed and I will never forget this round.
No, that's just a showcase of like, I don't know, competition. As long as it's close, is always fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, GG. So who do we have up next? We have I don't know.
I believe we will be doing.
Doesn't seem like it.
We can do Gotcha Sauce and Shock.
Sure.
Yep.
Got Yo Sauce and Shock. If you're ready to play, we're ready for you. Way too close, yeah. Ferox, you've had a really close match in one of our TECWC tournaments. It was Trifecta 2023. I want to say you had like the super close match, right? You had like a single T-spin kick or something to pass NSS in the 3rd place match. I don't know if my memory serves me correct. I feel like you wouldn't forget that moment, so enlighten me if you remember.
Yeah. A little bit scary.
Yeah. Score attack is like... When you get to those later levels, it just ramps up. Just like classic score attack, right? When you get to the late levels, and if it's that close, it's just like, oh man, the stress from even just watching and or playing. You'll definitely feel the anxiety as a player. I mean, the more you play, the more you get used to it, but yeah, it's exhilarating. The score attack usually starts out like pretty straightforward. Even at high level, I mean, you can definitely pick up some cool things about the stacking patterns and whatnot, but it kind of continues for 100 lines plus. But those late levels, when it's like super close and players are making more mistakes, and if it's nerve-wracking to watch.
Yeah.
All right, got your sauces in the lobby, and Shock, if you are ready, we're ready for you. I don't know if Shock. Okay, Shock is joining now. Great. Where's the part where we talk about food? That is up to you, Matt. Let us know what kind of food you want to talk about. The part, usually when I get hungry, so in about an hour, I might start talking about food. Oh, no worries, Shock. Oh, you had some pizza. Very nice. Who doesn't like pizza, right? I really mean that. Even if you, like I have family that does the gluten-free approach, the cauliflower crust pizza, that also slaps. I am a fan of all pizza. Usually. It's hard to go wrong. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, we got Shock booting up from Australia here. Saw Light Rod was in our chat earlier. So we have some Aussie representation. Nice early start to your weekend with some Tetris action. I know this is my second stream, but I gotta ask Austin, do you ever participate? I'll fill in sometimes, yeah. I love playing Tetris, so if I have the opportunity. I try not to make it the Austin show, if that makes sense, though. I want to showcase other players.
Shed and I are going to be playing a first to 100 after this,
Yes.
just as an FYI.
But no, yeah. Pretty much every chance I get, I like to play some Tetris. It's like riding a bike for me at this point. So I'm always ready to throw down. All right, Shock has just made their way into the lobby, and I'm ready when you two are ready. Nice. Good luck, have fun. He's a horse, says Scott Usas. Yeah. Great input and observation there.
Yeah.
Referring to...
Well, 2/3 of the cavalry are right here.
Yeah, the horse avatar is an avatar you can unlock with 100 score attack wins. So kind of rare, actually, because not many people get that many wins in ranked matchmaking within the score attack game mode.
Mm-hmm. But that is, I believe, one of the requirements in order for you to join the cavalry in Enhance is to get the horse avatars. So play some more score attack games, everyone.
Yeah,
this is definitely not me looking for more players.
There's no greater flex than if you show up with your fellow horse avatar owners in a connected versus lobby, and you fill all the slots with the horse avatars. It's the greatest threat in Tetris Effect Connected.
Although we legally cannot say that we're undefeated doing that.
I don't know.
Now I gotta switch my avatar.
No,
yeah, but I do. That's the issue.
I kind of blocked that out. Okay, so we got Shock setting up a 0-9 here. Shock, I've mentioned this multiple times, does a great job of just kind of keeping it simple. Keep it simple, stupid is a motto I like to live by. I think that's none of my family's in the military directly, or but I believe it is also a military saying, keep it simple, stupid, which it goes a long way when it comes to things like design and just managing and whatnot, right? But anyways, yes, if you maintain back-to-back Tetrises, you can go a long way at score attack, up to a certain point where you're going to run into high-level players that are going to trounce that with the T-spin efficiency, right? But this goes a long way. If you want to just climb score attack if you're new, I recommend doing what Shock's doing. Just nice, clean, maintain stacking, even just taking burns when you need to. Don't have to purely stack Tetrises, and this is a great strat. It's really good fundamentals from Shock. Meanwhile, we got Sauce, who I know has been practicing as well. And Sauce is looking to mix in some T-spins, and despite having, let's say, more line clears due to fishing for these T-spins, right? They are they're double the efficiency of a Tetris, simply put. Not always the case, but so if you have similar amount of line clears to Shock and you're going for T-spins, you should have the advantage in the long run.
Yep. Right now, Gotcha Sauce is behind by about 10 lines, so if you think of it as 5 T-spins or 2 Tetrises, they could easily bounce back right now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just a matter of finding their stride here, because it looks like they do end up having to burn a little bit more every time. And even if that is still helpful, it does eat up at the efficiency at the end of the day. But Shock has to... Okay, they broke back-to-back here.
I think we got Nedlow interested in using the horse avatar. Yes, feel free to join the club.
You do have to pay a fee to join the club, though.
I forgot to mention
that goes
yeah.
straight. Yeah, that goes straight to my PayPal. Shock is kind of in a tricky situation here. Yeah, they end up opting to try and cover up the well and clean this up as fast as possible.
Oh yeah,
no good
this is
T-spin
tough.
opportunities, but yeah. And this is kind of what Gotcha Sauce needs in order to get back into the game now that they're Tetris ready with the classic left well stack here.
All right, that Tetris 4 Shock should make things a little more comfortable, and I'm not too worried. Like usually when you see good fundamentals in like consistent 9-0 or 0-9 stacking, I'm not too worried for the player because good fundamentals means they'll be able to downstack and skim efficiently as well. For usually, that's the case.
Yeah, we do say that, but I do have to point out that the moment you said it, Shock ended up misdropping. So
well, misdrop, everyone misdrops. I try not to factor in misdropping too much. Of course, consistent play comes with less misdrops, but
yeah,
as long as your head is in the right space and we see the right ideas, I try to look at that more because. Especially in a mode like Zone Battle where you're moving 500 miles per hour, you're going to misdrop. It's bound to happen. But I guess Score Attack, it gives you a little bit more time until like the later levels to figure out what you want to do, which is nice.
You can self-pace a lot in this game. Maybe not as much as other levels at the end. Like, not other levels, sorry, at other phases of your Score Attack journey, because once you're getting into the 9 and 10K, some players really like to put in speed. But, just like what you were saying, as long as you're consistent with it, I wouldn't say put your head down, but definitely stay more calm and focused.
For sure. You know the meme of the guy sweating playing the keyboard, right? He's like frantically pressing keys on his button.
We do the opposite here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. People imagine high level Tetris is that way, but I think the best Tetris players generally, I'm trying to think of any outliers, are very calm and collected when they play.
I am doing a workout during that entire time, just so you know. So, like, I am running a 5K, I am lifting weights while playing Tetris. Definitely. So I don't know which one it's talking about.
I mean, there's certainly, you're going to come across nerves. I feel like that's a different thing, but the more you play...
Oh yeah, nerves are a different thing.
The more you'll get
acclimated.
At
some point the nerves start to not become a factor.
Of course, there's always going to be situations that it's going to come up on, it's going to like surprise you. You can play 2,000 ranked matches, and then when things are really on the line, it might be in the back of your head like, oh, this is it, right? And then you won't be thinking about the game as much. But that's part of the reason that calm composure is really good for a game like Tetris, where things are happening so quickly. You want to be focused rather than thinking about things like this is a finals match, right? The fact that this is the finals match is going through your head is going to like take away from you focusing, if that makes sense. Everyone's different though.
Yeah.
You want to find a way to harness that nervous energy for sure.
Speaking about nervousness, Gotcha Sauce is kind of putting me a little bit nervous here with their stack, but it looks like they do find the down stack. It's going to eat up to this efficiency, but if you do look at the line count, they're behind by around 20 lines, and only behind by 100,000 points. This is really easily, like, you can catch up with this as long as you can find this down stack. Dawn goes for a lot of T-spin zeros here. Oh, but this might be it.
Wait, there is it now.
Get a line clear, no. Oh.
That was, I think you would need, I don't know if Gotcha Sauce does rotates each way. Crawling with that piece is a little tricky in that situation.
In that case, you would need to do IRS there, but I think they had the line clear there with the eyepiece, and then they could have placed a T on the left side.
But yeah, it's harder to think clearly when you
It's
are
hard,
at
yeah.
that point in your
Row 19, yeah, row 19, realizing, wait.
which kind of plays into our narrative here, where it's like you got to keep your cool, calm and collected,
Yeah.
even in those situations, right? But that
Yeah,
comes with experience.
definitely.
But good showing from both of you. Thank you for playing Got Your Sauce and Shock. And who do we have up next? Let's see.
I believe it is Toad and Grasspelt who
right.
are looking at some rule templates here.
Ooh. Grasspelt Classic. Well, they might actually choose classic settings, but a classic thing that Grasspelt likes to do is change up the custom game settings in it. Everyone is welcome to do that. Of course, if you want to play vanilla, that's totally fine. But there's a lot of quirky, fun settings you could have in the custom match options available in any of the friend matches. So if you ever want to mess around with players on our Discord or on our community showcases, etc., definitely suggest giving it a whirl, especially if nothing's on the line. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been focusing on zone. I think we'll be... I think Classic Gore-Tex next week. But looking forward to seeing your zone play. Got you sauce. Welcome back, Jabberbox. Jabberbox, you missed the bus earlier, so we'll see if we can swoop back around and pick you up. Has anyone ever missed the bus? Not like the city metro, but the bus to get to school. I used to have to take the bus to get to school. I think I missed one or twice, and I was extremely nervous to have to explain myself. Okay. So what are we rolling with here?
So it looks like they're going to be going for the marathon.
So we're doing marathon. Oh. So like versus marathon, I guess. Limited bag. Have you played with limited bag much, Ferox? What's your thought on it? Or how do you feel when you play it? Yeah. Oh, whoops, I can't hear you on this scene. Thanks, CJ. CJ is looking out for us. Hold that thought, Ferox, because you were back on the air. No more secret sharing.
And that is why I can never go back into the water. Wait, this was not... Dang it. Anyways, what we were talking about was that I do like Limited. You have to keep in mind that you might get droughted with some really important pieces, but eventually they'll show up. So if you're trying to set up for a T-spin and you don't see it in your queue, you might be in a drought. So you might want to hold out on going for a donation when you would probably want to go for some Tetris stacking instead.
Oh, they did a 17 start. I was thinking it would be fun to do marathon settings and start from level 1, like a classic marathon.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
However, this is 150 lines. I don't know if they're gonna go all the way to level. What would end up being here, like 22?
That's a good point. Yeah, I think it would end at 22. That or 21. It's always weird.
Yeah, definitely higher because this is
This does not end at 15. Right? Yeah. I want to say 22. We should know these kind of things, but level math is weird because especially when I I have like classic
gets
Tetris brain
tricky.
too, so yeah.
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 I unfortunately do not know it off the top of my head, but all that I know is that this, because they chose a higher level speed, I do think we're going to see something higher than level 15. Well, more than the actual level 17 start that they had, but I think it will go higher than that.
Well, it's pretty even so far. I think Grasspelt a little bit behind on lines. Toad has a real-time lead, but Grasspelt takes that right back and actually goes ahead of lines with that combo there.
I think both players are really trying to find T-spins here. Grasspelt finds one. There is a T-spin 0 here for Toad, but unfortunately, yeah, they would have to wait out a bit here. Either go for the T-spin 0 and go for the Tetris, or skim a line here with the T-spin. Or go for a T-spin and then skim a line. So there's going to be some really interesting decisions here for both players, especially since they are playing on the more 20G speeds, and they can't rely on specific pieces showing up. It would be interesting to see when they decide to go for certain setups.
Yeah, because we do have that limited bag, which is available in the custom settings. Makes it a little harder to come by or rely on your specific pieces, like Ferox was discussing there.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of combos. Yeah, I guess maybe it's a little more limiting than I realize, right? Because I've barely played with limited bag. I know there has been some like gimmick tournaments that utilize it. Not gimmick. Gimmick is not always. I mean, it is, but sometimes that could be a negative word. Ooh, Toad tops out.
Ooh, Toad gets a really bad misdrop there. Yeah, so limited RNG. I don't think anyone's like fully figured out the grasp of it, but you can think of it kind of like 30, like I don't know, maybe 35 bag, but it isn't necessarily every 35 pieces. Like eventually you'll start seeing some of the pieces back because the game is trying to avoid giving you long droughts, but it's still trying to be random and not reliant on a fixed bag system. And Grassball catches up in score here.
Yeah, you two are welcome to run it back, given that was an early top out. If you want to see the full 150. Yeah.
Unfortunately, did not see the speed level change.
Oh yeah, so we'll never know.
Okay, looks like they're ready to run it back. Same speed. Same speed.
Nice. I like the 17 colors.
How dare they not go for an opener here in this mode that does not have an opener? Well, I say this and both players are trying to SD stack.
I think they got a decent bag. Might be hard to maintain.
This is going to be really tricky to maintain. Yeah, we're starting to see some of the issues with limited bag here. Toad is relying on that Z piece. And unfortunately, the more that they upstack, it might be a bit of a problem later on. They do get the Z pieces showing up, and I think they have it at a nice time where the T pieces are also showing up. But yeah, they're now getting a little bit droughted.
Yeah, it's more freestyle like freestyle-y with the limited bag. So it's kind of weird to think about, but you can actually probably go for like less efficient ways to SC stack, and it'll still work out because of the limited bag, if that makes sense. You kind of just go with your gut a little bit more than you would typically.
It's just right now, we saw a few eyepieces being used, and so now there's going to be less eyepieces, but now they're back. It's so tricky to explain how it works. Yeah. But that does put Toad in a bit of a lead here. These extra T-spin doubles that they were able to go for. Grasspelt's going to have to find a way to get more efficiency out. Outside of this 6-3... That was a 1-8 turned into a 9-0 stack that they were going for. I think they were trying to go for a lot of T-spins, and unfortunately did not get any T-piece to complement it.
Grasspelt's looking for something here. Trying to visualize a T-spin, most likely.
There is a good T-spin here, but it does cover up that well. And, oh. Unfortunately, well, not fortunately, they might actually see something else here.
That was pretty clever. I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty nice. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best option. The computer currently labels this as a -0.3 lead for Toad. If we start having chess engines
Yeah, I was
evaluate
about to say,
Tetris, I
if we
would
have
have a
little
lot
chess
of
bar,
questions.
then
Yeah.
we can constantly judge and act superior if we have a chess bar live. What do they call that? You know, the bar on the left that goes up and down. Is there a word for that?
I think it's just the evaluation bar.
Okay, evaluation bar.
Yeah, I think it's just they're pretty straightforward. They don't come up with like, spider eyes or Mr. T-spins. We don't say the rest of that.
Yeah, I play chess very casually. To the point
Yeah.
I like go out of my way to not get too into it because I know I will. With like all the setups and stuff, I like to just mess around. But anyways, Toad was getting a little high there again, but does not miss drop this time. Let me hold my thought there.
They are looking for a E piece here, though.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to bail out on it, and unfortunately, there are no
Look at this triple
I
Z
pieces
piece
in this fight.
or S piece.
Oh, this might actually be bad here. I think this might lead to another top out.
This is a brutal sequence.
Yeah, you can't kick that Z. You can't get that S piece there, and unfortunately, they top out.
Well, they were greeting.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason they topped out.
unfortunately,
Go ahead.
7 bag would give you that I piece eventually a lot sooner, but you really can't rely on that in this game. And Graspelt rotates in the wrong direction here, so they can't use that T-spin 0 at the bottom for a few more points.
But yeah, part of the reason Toad probably ended up in that situation is they were playing more efficient, maybe fishing too much for efficiency there, and it came back to haunt them. But that means Grasspelt is going to have to chase this down, and we still have that 2-minute timer in play too, right? So it's harder to play efficient with limited bag, and the time is ticking here. So Toad could still pull this off.
Yeah, I think they realize that they're just going to go for Tetrises, which is a valid strategy here.
Oh,
and they find the Tetris PC. Let's go. Did they see the 2 light? Wait, 2 light. Let's go.
That's funny.
Oh, they might not see any more. Yeah, no more T-spins here. But hey, we love to see that not in classic, in a limited bag. And they might have another T-spin here. They do.
That could be the game changer, honestly. It was looking a little rough before then.
Yeah. This is probably what also happened to Toad here, just being a little bit too ambitious with the T-spins. Because we just saw a lot of T-pieces. The game wants to balance that out, so it's not going to go for as many T-pieces anymore. And so now we're back into a familiar position where we're getting T-droughted.
There it is.
But I think that's just enough. There it is. All right. Let's see if we can finish out the level just so that we can see where this ends, because it is past 15. We're at 126. Or actually, it is, I believe, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern.
So the game should end when level 23 is hit. But the last level to play should be 22.
Yeah.
Well, that was a fun matchup. Toad making things exciting with that top out made for a fun chase down.
Yeah. Oh, PC.
PC.
There's another one. Ooh, Grasspot, I think ended up missing out on another PC here, but we do have the Z-spin. Oh, no Z-spin. No PC to end it here, but I think we're about to hit 151.
Very nice.
There we go. Nice.
23 to top out. GG, that was fun. Thanks
GG.
for the setting suggestion, Grasspelt. Made things exciting there.
And it is, I do believe, this might get risky here. Nedlow is in that bracket, but they have a bye right now.
We'll
so
probably have time.
They'll be up right now.
Yeah, especially if we have a later level start. It shouldn't take too long. Oh, they're up right now, like match-wise, or?
I think the bracket is about to start since it is around the time of that was posted.
Oh, I thought it started like at 6 my time, an hour ago. Okay.
No, it's 6 Central, so 7 Eastern.
Got it. Well, Knighting is in our lobby. Knighting's ready to play.
Yep. So I guess I don't need to do that.
Nidlo.
Yep.
Oh, room setting reset. Thank you, Knighting.
Oh yeah.
Classic mistake that I like to make. Okay. Yeah, GG Grass Pelt. Nicely done. Nice clutch on some of those perfect clears. I was a little skeptical until you got that score bonus there.
Wait, Shen, is the CPU currently in the lobby?
I saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
Left, though. Oh, room code for Nedlo.
We got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's usually shown up whenever you use a prepare command. It's just I didn't ping either of them because they were already looking.
Got it. All right.
And then after this match, I believe we have Cool Matt versus ORG Pac-Man.
Great. And our players are ready. Good luck, have fun. Nedlo and Knighting. This should be a good matchup. I know Nedlo's really upped up their score attack game in the past year or so, so I'd be curious to see how Nedlo plays against someone like Knighting, who can crush it when it comes to ST stacking and whatnot. Actually, I know this, so Nedlo's really up their game. I know they can keep a pretty consistent ST stack at this point, so this should be a good matchup.
All right, now hoping that we don't jinx it immediately, and we almost did. Actually, no, this is a pretty standard setup here. Nice T-spins here from Nedlo before going for any of the actual T-spin doubles. Which is also another thing. If you need to use a T-piece and not to go for a T, like not to go clear any lines, you could always try and use it for a T-spin mini, or a T-spin zero. Just squeeze out a little bit more efficiency. You see it a lot in SC because you usually have to drop a few T-pieces on the side.
Yeah, we see a lot of that at the highest level.
Yeah.
Between players. Siaka Gohan comes to mind for getting a lot of those T-spin minis in the trifecta finals. And of course, you and other players will also utilize that. And it can make or break a game when it comes down to the closest players, right?
We just saw a game earlier today with the score difference of what, 600?
600, yep.
Yeah. Alright. Ooh, okay. Nedlo ends up doing the right decision here. Realizes they can't use the S piece for the overhang. Which, side note for everyone, this is the coveted ST stack.
Yeah.
And
you know
this
what?
is
like,
one of the...
Yeah, I feel like ST stacking is a pretty good intro. How do I put this? Intro to the pattern stacking world when you do really want to take that dive. I think once you pick up on the patterns, it's not too hard to conceptualize. Like, there's a lot of, you can put this piece in this row. Of course, you need to freestyle a little bit at certain points if you want to like maintain perfect ST stacking. But when you really do pick it up, it is rewarding. But go ahead.
Yeah, ST stacking is probably one of, I don't want to say simplest, but definitely one of the more straightforward ways on how you would do setups. Since you can generalize your stack into 3 different sides. You have your left side where you usually see J-O-I pieces just be dropped on the left side. You then have the center, which ideally you want to put your S and your L's, mainly because of that S piece. And then you would have the right side where you have your Z pieces, your T-spins, and then your Tetrises. Although it looks like both players independently found their own misdrops or rough sequences. So this is where you start to see more of the freestyling side of ST stacking shine. And I think Knighting is going to try to go for, we love to see it here, an infinite T-spin triple stack, potentially.
Interesting transition there.
Yeah, unfortunately they can't continue it on here, but they do end up getting a few T-spin triples, which score pretty well. And that is also another one of those common stacking patterns where you would end up trying to go for just T-spin triples. The one downside about ST stacking is that you need to get a lot of Tetrises. And I think LST also has this issue, but to a lesser extent. And those Tetrises kind of eat up at your efficiency when you compare them to T-spins. T-spin triples do give you enough lines to clear that you don't need to rely on Tetrises, but they're extremely difficult to go for. And rough misdrop here from Knighting. That JP's placement is going to be really rough. They do end up finding another one, though.
But yeah, in competition, we usually see the ST stacking, like we see from Knighting here. Or Knighting was trying to transition back into it. It's a little tricky. And that's part of the fun of score tag. You're bound to have misdrops, and then you're going to need a certain set of skill to know how to get back into the rhythm that you need to get the optimal or maximum amount of points possible. But yeah, what I was going to get to was I think score attack still has room to explore in order to be even more efficient, right? In competition, ST stacking is kind of ultra reliable and will net you the most consistent, highest scoring possible, right? But I think there's still competitive score attack hasn't reached its limits, is what I'm trying to get at.
Mathematically speaking, it is one of the worst ways to score points at 20G, but it is one of the most consistent.
Yeah.
LST scores more points per line over the long run. Infinite T-spin triple stacking scores more points per line over the long run. Technically, like Tetris, PC spamming scores more points per line, but it's 20G, so you're almost never going to see that. There are other different setups that try to balance more Tetrises rather than T-spin doubles, and usually you can get that down to the point where you don't need any Tetrises whatsoever. I think there's a setup where you use a J, Z, T, like it's a T-spin triple into like T-spin doubles, which also scores more points than Tetrises. But again, a lot of these are a lot trickier to do, especially with 20G, which has always been the biggest hurdle for a lot of players. If you ever see me play, I usually try to go with LST more, and it's mainly because of that, because you can push for a higher score with it.
In this level 29 post game here.
Yeah, right at level 30 here. Okay, down stack. Okay, 31. Do we see a 32?
See a lot of what do you call that? The shimmying of the pieces there. There's a word for it. Or a phrase for it, at least in the community. I can't think of it right now. I don't know why. But yeah, so when you move the piece left and right, you can kind of like skirt around the piece locking in.
I've called it piece jittering. It's pretty helpful, but it's also probably one of the biggest things you got to worry whenever you're trying out 20G. The point of 20G is to think faster. And what you do when you're jittering your pieces is it gives you more time to think. But it's really tricky to get out of the whole I'm moving my piece left and right and I need to move it somewhere else phase. And I think that's where you see a lot of people end up misdropping, and then they get stuck in even further holes in their stack because they keep misdropping the first piece and then they have to go to the next piece and they realize, oh, I just misdropped, now this is a new piece. And it can quickly spiral out of control. But
nice showing from Nedlow, though. And Nedlow still managed to get to that post 29. Knighting bringing a pretty good game, though, with that 2 mil plus. So, yeah, good game, you two. And nice showing from both of you. And Nedlow, good luck. I know you're about to hop into a zone battle match for the community tournament happening right now. So, best of luck there. Maybe we'll catch you later when we read that stream there. But
also, we do have a wiggle stall. Yeah,
I think I called it wiggling, is what I would call it. Yeah,
wiggling, stalling, jitter, piece jitter. But yeah, it's a good habit to have, but a really bad habit to rely on, and an even worse habit to break.
Okay, so up next is Cool Matt and Pac-Man, I believe, if you are ready to play. I see Cool Matt is typing. You're about to be pinged, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, make your way to the lobby. Let's I don't know if you can hit the bot command for me there.
Give it a minute and 20 seconds.
1 minute, 20 seconds. All right.
And here is just information, just in case. As always, I will gladly share the room code with everyone else. So the room code here is not 1234 this time. It is not 1235. But in fact, it is ABCD.
Ooh.
A curveball this time. We do not have numbers in this room code.
Only letters here.
Yep.
Don't confuse the B with an 8. It is a B. A B C D.
That actually no, yeah, my bad. It is an A8.
Oh, it's an 8.
I believe it is the open parentheses and then a 0. So unfortunately, good luck everyone for trying to find this room code because I do believe that console players cannot put a. Well, I mean, neither can the keyboard, neither can any of the PC players. I don't think open parentheses is in the list of characters that you can put.
Why would you lie to us? Welcome in Commodore Friday, Jabberbox. Sorry, I already caught Jabberbox in chat. I will not welcome you twice, Jabberbox. Welcome in Commodore Friday, though.
I will welcome you right now, Jabberbox. Welcome to the stream, Jabberbox. If you do want to rejoin and play your game, I do believe... actually, no. That was Nathan. My bad. I guess if we do have time, we could look for a few more matches here.
All right, looks like we're going to hop into our next game. Pac-Man and Matt. I almost said Matt-Man. Good luck, have fun.
We have Pac-Man and Matt-Man. Yeah, good luck. And then let's get this match out of the way.
Ooh, we got the lower level start. We got the different background. I kind of like the 0 to 9 start on Score Attack with the grayish hue more so. A little lighter, yeah. All right, both players off to a good start. Super clean. 0-9. If you both maintain 0-9 the whole time, it's going to be a photo finish, so keep it up.
It'll come down to the hard drop points.
Yeah.
Not the soft drop this time, but the hard drop points.
Ooh, nice fix from Matt to maintain. Gonna have to stack over it. So we'll have to take a triple. Meanwhile, Pac-Man keeping it real clean. I don't think Pac-Man has broke the Tetris wall yet, so has maintained perfect Tetris rate, if I'm not mistaken, unless I missed anything. And Matt looking to utilize speed, maybe. Could try to force the timer, especially with his lower level start, right? It means there's a longer runway for, say, Pac-Man to get caught up. But with that being said, I don't think Matt's really accrued too much of a lead, despite playing faster. So Pac-Man should be in a good position so far.
Yeah, I think Matt trying to go for that speed there has been misdropping a little bit more. And that's what's been keeping it really close because you can see that line difference here. Ooh, D-spin here from Matt. I might be reacting a little bit late to it, but yeah, I think Pac-Man just sticking with these Tetrises, keeping that back-to-back is doing pretty well.
Yeah, the color of the ghost. That's actually one of my favorite effects that we see in Score Attack, yeah. It does that in Zone Battle, too, I believe. It's a small thing you don't really think about while you're playing, for one. Easier to appreciate when you're watching. Which is actually part of, the design direction of this game is, super cool to watch was part of the goal in terms of arts and the art direction of the game. All right. So we heard a change in music and change in background, meaning we have moved into post level 10, I want to say. So higher gravity on its way. Pac-Man is still working their way up. And this time, Matt has managed to, build a little bit of a lead here. Because Pac-Man is playing slower. I want to say Pac-Man is still more efficient, but not by too much. Box saying the game is so damn pretty. The backgrounds are amazing. Playing it in VR and actually getting to see each level is a whole different experience. Yeah, I for sure. When I play in VR on any enhanced game for that matter, it's such a vibe, and it makes me instantly relax. I relax more because I'm a competitive Tetris player, right? So I mostly play multiplayer and stuff. But playing in VR helps me to relax. And I truthfully mean that, just because of just trying to soak it all in.
Yeah.
Have you got to play Tetris in VR yet? Or Tetris?
I have not, but I have heard a lot of people talk about how pretty it is, and the one thing that you cannot do on non-VR when you're playing Tetris Effect specifically, the background going all 360 degrees.
Yeah, so particles are going to the side of you, and jellyfish, whatever it may be. It helps you like look at some of the stages more in depth in a way that you may not have noticed before, or you may not have had the resolution for before to see like some of the elements in a stage where you would normally have to like zoom out to see. For example, on the deep, when you start out on the deep, in VR, it's easier to see like the bottom of the ocean floor under you. Whereas it's there in 2D, but it's not really brought to your attention. Where in VR, if you're looking around, you can see some of those elements a little more clearly. But yeah, as a sweaty gamer, VR helps me to relax and enjoy the game in a different way. All right, so Matt doing a pretty darn good job now. Is quite a bit ahead on lines, though. So really, Pac-Man, I think this will be a game that comes down to speed. Because I think Pac-Man isn't that far behind on efficiency. But clearing that 300k in 2 minutes will be tricky. Especially if Pac-Man is less confident on these higher speeds. It seems like Matt is doing pretty good, actually, on 15 plus. Very good, might I add.
Yeah, they're just blitzing through it right now.
I think Matt's playing more efficient on higher gravity than they were on level 7. As I say that.
Commentator's curse strikes again, everyone.
Well, this should give Pac-Man some room to breathe. Pac-Man, despite the increased pressure from this higher gravity, is going to want to aim to get some Tetrises and efficiency just to get caught up despite the pressure that Matt is bringing with the speed, right? Slow and steady wins the race in this case. I read a short story recently about the tortoise and the hare. The hare challenged the tortoise again, and absolutely crushed the tortoise in the second go around. What happened to the drawing on the board? Oh, I don't have that set up, do I?
Oh yeah. We might have the setup still. Ben is currently going to be drawing the different T-spin setups that players are missing, and we'll have the little evaluation bar on the side afterward.
I need to write a note to have that set up permanently, because it was super scuffed last time to the point where it was showing my other monitor. So, all right. So this is the chase down part, and it's gonna be really tricky. If Pac-Man can get into an open Tetris well, it might be feasible, which is doable from here. But
Yeah,
I'm not
looks
sure
like
Pac-Man
they're
is
trying to clean this
confident at maintaining a healthy stack post level 15. It seems like, but we'll see. I'll hold my breath here.
Right now, a lot of skimming, but okay, looks like we're shifting the wall over to the right now.
And yeah, either way, a nice showing from Matt there. So I think these two are similar in rating. I know Score Attack rating probably the least accurate of all SRs out there because it's the least active game mode compared to Zone Battle and Classic, which a lot of people like to play, right? Yeah, Cool Matt with a really good showing here. But we'll see. Pac-Man's putting up a pretty good game. Had a great opening, but just struggling to keep up with Matt's speed. And Matt's speed also transferred into the later levels, right? So good skill set on post level 15. Commentator's blessing, says Matt.
Commentator's curse gets upgraded to a commentator's blessing. And then right after that, I'm pretty sure we're going to commentator's curse it right after. Okay, gets the S piece over. Unfortunately, that Z piece does get stuck. And
time is
no catch up here.
So Matt bringing the speed, bringing a really good game overall. But nice showing for Pac-Man. I think the competition was tough there, so don't sweat it too much. I think Pac-Man really has improved. It did a really good job with maintaining a higher Tetris rate to start off, more than I remember seeing from Pac-Man in the past. So nicely played. Okay, so up next, I believe, is Coffee and Tetris and Mike. Make your way to the lobby when you're ready.
I might have missed something. I think Mike might right now be playing a Zone Battle match for Zone Cup. I might have missed them on the list here. I don't think so.
Maybe Commodore Friday would be somewhere close.
It could.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Mikey just finished their matchup, and
perfect.
I see that they are, like, they did win their first match, so they're going to be waiting a bit for the losers quarterfinals to catch up on.
Cool. And yeah, we'll be finishing up here, so maybe one or two more games.
Yeah. We can always have, I believe, Commodore versus Noriko afterward.
Got it.
Or Noriko.
Yeah. Noriko will be a tough opponent. I think Noriko might even be slightly under. I guess 10K is not underrated. But yeah, Commodore Friday might be up for the challenge. It is asynchronous anyway, so even if it is a little bit of a mismatch.
Congrats on your win, Noriko. That's wild.
It's not going to be like Zone Battle where they're going to be pressuring you to the point where you can't play. All right, so Mike's in here, and just Coffee and Tetris when you're ready. I think they are on the way.
Go ahead and do one final thing.
Oh, I never asked, maybe because Ferox is here, but anyone playing any new games, have any fun weekend plans they want to share, feel free to share in the chat. What game have I been playing? Oh, I finally booted up Balatro for the first time. Was having fun with that.
We need to have a Balatro stream on the WPL channel, Shen. We need to see this.
Are you really into it? I
got into it. I got an idea. What about some Balatro side events at WPL?
Oh, okay. You want to go that far? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm still unlocking stuff. I beat the game a few times, but I'm sure that doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme. Yeah, I think you want to beat the game.
There's a lot of content.
A bunch of decks, right? In order to, it keeps me coming back. But it's a nice game because I won't I just want to do like one run and then I'll come back to it. I'm not gonna like grind for hours. Of course, I won't speak for everybody in that sense, but I was having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
But what other games have I been playing? How about you? I've been playing Repo. It's like a extraction point horror game.
Yeah.
Which has been fun. Vampire Survivors. Yeah, I played a lot of that. I got hooked on it for a little bit, and then I haven't touched it in a while. But it's a good Steam Deck game.
Right now, I've just been doing a lot of Lethal and Risk of Rain.
Risk of Rain is a game. I remember the OG one. That was a kind of old indie game, right? I can't remember what year they actually came out, but I didn't own it, but my brother did, and we played it a little bit. I never played the sequel.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Risk of Rain 2, right?
There's Risk of Rain 2, and there's also Risk of Rain Returns.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, yeah, I'm out
Returns. I think is it's kind of like a remake of Risk of Rain 1. So up to you if you want to count it as a sequel. But Risk of Rain 2 is a sequel.
And of course, for those of you that are playing Tetris Effect Connected, the most wonderful game
We are
ever.
back.
Yeah, if you're new to the game, I know we always have new players. We are streaming this on Steam and whatnot. So if you are on the buy page right now, do you hear me? Player on the buy page, ready to press buy. Feel free to join us on the Discord at discord.gg/enhance. And if you are looking for a social experience to your Tetris, or want to go down the whole rabbit hole of Tetris Effect Connected, we are here for you. It really is. Okay. I of course I have a bias. I do work at Enhance, but one of the most complete Tetris games of all time. So there's a lot to explore in Tetris Effect Connected between the effect modes, the multiplayer, the journey mode. If you're playing journey mode for the first time, that could be quite the trip. So welcome in any new players. You think I sold anyone there, Fairbanks?
How dare Enhance sell out on their own game?
If one person bought buy there, I would be happy. Or press buy.
On my way to buy the game again, I guess.
Journey mode with headphones is amazing. You know what? I didn't really. So I have like a sound system on my TV, and I played Journey mode. I do like bug checks and stuff like that on the PlayStation builds, whatever. But I really sat down and played it on Journey mode with the sound and everything, and it just was like, yeah. And I think part of it, like I mentioned, whenever I play on the PC, I tend to be a little more competitive. But when I play in other environments, I really do appreciate the sounds, the effects, and everything that the Journey mode brings as well. And the vibe that it brings when you're playing more casually is just awesome.
Yeah.
Anywho, we got Morg versus Mike here. Mike seems to be the kind of the pace setter. Whoever plays faster will set the pace, and will let us kind of take a step back and see what Morg needs to do to catch up to the score, right? And who's playing more efficient, etc., to get the state of the game. Seems pretty even at this point.
Yeah, I believe both players are maybe not necessarily neck and neck, because I'm basing these off of Tetris scores and not T-Spin scores, but they are pretty much neck and neck there. 2,000 points in 2 lines on a speed that is over level 10, so a bit of a arithmetic situation here. They're just really close. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, we got long division at play.
I am currently calculating with exponents in my head as we speak.
Oh. Like the, what's the gif? I think of that, the Hangover gif with Zach Galifianakis when he's counting cards. Anyways, yeah, so Mike with a little bit of a lead. At least a real-time lead. But Morg is really good at keeping... I kind of equate Morg to what we saw from Shock earlier. Really good at just maintaining proper fundamentals and Tetris stacking, maintaining back-to-back in this 0-9 well. So Morg can minimize misdrops, showcase good fundamentals is likely to at least get caught up to Mike, unless Mike is bringing it as well. It'll come down to the post level 15 high gravity play and the skill set of each player.
Yeah. I think both players are currently keeping up with each other. Mike might have gone for a few more misdrops, but I did hear more T-spins on their side, so another way to be able to bring up that score and catch up, you might have to do a few more misdrops. Or not misdrops, but like if you do misdrop a bit, going for more T-spins can help you catch up.
Some work with the higher center going to be a little tricky to fill out that left side. Yeah, typically when you get a high center, you might run into some piece dependencies and awkward stacks if you want to maintain it back-to-back. Morg handled that pretty well.
Yeah. And for stuff like 7-bag, that type of piece dependency can be pretty useful because you aren't getting droughted. As much as some players might run into situations where they get like ZS bursted, like a ZS. You could use that to kind of plan out where in your stack you want certain pieces to go, especially in 20G. So if you put the more flat side of your stack on the left side, you could look for putting your J, L, and O pieces on that side, and then just making sure that the center is not the same height, but the highest part of your stack.
Mike with a tricky situation has been doing a good job, much like Morg here on the left, of maintaining a proper Tetris well with good fundamentals. And I like that resolution, just kind of like not really thinking about the gap, just minimizing the piece dependencies and moving on. That's really kind of the best way to go about it in these situations. Don't overthink it. Does have this 3-wide going on, so yeah, gonna have to either take skims or wait for the proper use of like squares, L's, and J's. Sometimes long bars as well. You don't really want to do long bars because you want to Tetris with those, but ooh, and look at that. Does have the opening. Oh, if they get the long bar, that'd be perfect, right, for the well transition, but decides to just continue to build over it.
Which is perfectly fine here. I do like just waiting it out, seeing if there's the right time for it, instead of trying to like rush through and force the timing.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you already have it at column 4 here, this is really good timing here for Mike, being able to just only have to skin one line rather than potentially like multiple other ones afterward if you end up misdropping while trying to keep that left side open. And I think Morg here, they might end up going for a triple here, and then another one. Yeah. Unfortunately, was not able to bring those up to what ends up being a count of 4, where you stack up the parts of your stack that you need to clear Tetris up to the 4 rows, and then get the Tetris there, eventually opening up whatever hole in your stack there was.
Mike in a pretty good position, especially after Morg kind of with running into some trouble, mostly due to the instantaneous gravity at this point. So I saw that Morg had a piece, the Z piece, meant to go to the left and just wasn't able to crawl it over. That kind of stuff will mess with you. But nice down stack. We'll see if Morg can get to a comfortable spot back into the 0-9 bread and butter.
Looks like they are trying to find a few Tetrises here. Rough O placement. Goes back to the whole concept of keeping the center of your stack higher, because the O piece does not like to play around in 20G, unfortunately. There is no kick table for it, or at least conceptually there is no kick table. So you can't really move the piece to the left or the right if it's already stuck.
By the way, for those that have been watching for a while now, so the ST stacking pattern, right, naturally has a higher center, or you can stack in a way where it maintains a higher center, which makes it also very easy to navigate the higher speeds. But yeah, Mike running away with a bit of a lead because Morg wasn't really able to Tetris post level 15. I see like a lot of good decision making from Morg, but just either runs into another stacking error or something, and unfortunately unable to get into a scoring position. Just find that little cheeky T-spin mini.
T-spin mini, yeah. I love those T-spin minis.
Oh yeah.
However convoluted they may be per game on like how to actually score a T-spin mini and when it's just a normal T-spin.
Coffee and Tetris, 200k. I mean, yeah, the Tetrises are worth so much more at this point where it's not impossible to get caught up, but Morg's gonna have to bring the A game and be comfortable playing in post level 25.
Yeah, I think here is when you have to start pivoting into going for more T-spins than your opponent to try and catch up. Because the alternative is Tetris your way into even faster and faster speeds, which might not be easy or even possible to do sometimes. But Mike is about to top out here. They need to find a down stack here. Unfortunately, they don't get it in time. Level 27 was their end. Morg just needs to score 195,000. We're scoring around 3,000 points per single. So you cannot line this out. We do need to find a bit of efficiency here. And I think... unfortunately.
That was a good showing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really close. Like, Mike just had just a cleaner like mid game there, I would say.
Yeah.
Morg wasn't too far behind and had honestly like similar handling of higher gravity. Just ran into a few more misdrops and some errors with like the piece crawling due to having a not high enough center, like we were mentioning. But good game. That was a good matchup.
Yep, good games.
Okay, I think we might have one more match, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
We have Grass Pelt and Mind Sweat.
Oh, Grass Pelt. So maybe two more matches. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get
I think
Friday game for sure.
Yeah, we can get Commodore Friday versus
Noriko.
I believe it is going to be Noriko.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a good way to finish it off here. Okay, so Grass Pelt is back against Mind Swept. I have a feeling these two would be down for some shenanigans. So let's see.
I do believe that is... Yeah, I think that's the reason why Mindsup was asking if anyone was willing to play a more modern classic score attack. I don't know what the rules are that they relied on. Or not relied on, sorry, that they agreed upon.
Let's see. If either of you can enlighten us. Classic bag and scoring presets. Okay. It's easy enough.
Yeah.
So classic bag, we saw limited bag earlier. This is just pure random, so you never know what you're going to get. And scoring template, classic. So very Tetris heavy, no back-to-backs, no T-spins. Pure Tetris for the purist out there, where it's like, why do T-spins count as score? This is not called T-spin, right? This is called Tetris. If you have that mentality, you can switch into the classic scoring template. All right, that's a decade-old discussion of why are T-spins rewarded, but we don't need to get into that, do we, Ferox?
I will pull out my 150 slide presentation about what the decisions were made at the early 2000s for what gets counted as T-spin and like the guideline scoring mechanics at the start. Because I was definitely there. I definitely was not, born around that time.
I remember watching. I know Alexi also likes the inclusion of T-spins for the strategy aspect of it, and I think it aged well. I love playing around that strategy. But hey, if that's not for you, we got classic score attack ranked as well. Do what fits you, and that's part of the magic of Tetris Effect. It's pretty much Tetris for anybody, depending on the mode you want to play. Pretty much, there's a mode for you.
And relatively recently was also added into the effect mode. So if you do not want to play ranked and you don't want to play against the CPU, you can play it single player. with both PAL and NTSC. But this is not a classic stream. That will be
I think it's
in
next
a
week.
future one.
Yeah.
That might be next week, actually. Yeah.
Grass Belt Mineswept, I'm ready when you're ready. I think the settings should be, let me double check. Should be good.
I think they are
Classic.
deciding on if they want to do disable hold.
Oh, we could do that. That might be,
Yeah, we're going all in on the classic
let's
here.
do it, let's do it. I like it.
Yeah.
That was like one of the last updates to custom game settings as well, so let's take advantage of it. I like it.
Yeah.
So you can actually, because you can do this in your own settings, it's just a nice quality of life update where you can change your hold and next queue at the very bottom here. Oh, we could also set it to 1 next queue if you really want to go classic.
Yeah. 1 XQ and no hold.
Are we?
We're
okay
doing.
with that?
I believe so.
All right, let's do it.
Yep.
So this is So we have classic score attack. We have score attack. What would you call the in between of that? It's got to be a clever word for it. Let me know, chat. How about score attack classic? Okay, so what level are we going to start on? Level 11 start. Modern classic score attack. All right.
I do like this modern classic take. We can probably work an abbreviation though. I keep reading Minecraft.
Minecraft.
All right. Both players here with a nice 9-0 stack. Unfortunately, right off the bat, starting off with an eye drought. There they are. 1 Tetris, 2 Tetris. I can only say 3 Tetris. There's the 4th one between both players.
There's something satisfying about the look and feel of this just as a spectator. Like, without just showing the one piece, it's just like, it looks really clean for some reason. I think some of our old screenshots kind of look like this too, where you just one piece preview. It looks pure in a way, which I guess kind of makes sense.
I think this is Shen's way of saying that this matchup will be used as promotional art for future announcement. I believe.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, this will get announced once the Switch 2 comes out, where it's like, hey, Tech is still in this game, and they'll see it here. Because surely that's what's going to happen, right?
No. I cannot comment. Why would you do this to me? But you can play on the Switch 2 with the Switch version, backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I think it is
the
official
NES statement. Okay.
I believe that was also the intended. I think that's what I was intending. Was like, I think a lot of games are going to be backwards compatible. At least, hopefully, if Nintendo does it.
So Mineswept finds that T-spin single, which doesn't do anything. It just counts as a single. There are no T-spin bonuses.
Yeah, but it looks like this is a really rough sequence.
No hold is brutal for this as well.
Yeah.
How quickly the pieces are moving. Got to really just think on your toes. Who here in chat is getting a Switch 2? I haven't actually gone with a pre-order or anything like that.
I don't think I'm gonna get a Switch 2. At least not right now.
I'll be a patient gamer.
I will casually wait until the price drops.
I do want to play the Donkey Kong game at some point, but yeah, I can wait. I have so many games that I want to play right now too. That's one thing. It's just like,
yeah,
no rush for me.
But yeah, Jabberbox, that's what I'm also thinking. I feel like Nintendo has been teasing it for quite a while. That like, oh, you can play your Switch 1 games on the Switch too. Although I do think some games are like trying to like release.
Oh, that's
their
right.
games
Yeah,
for
you
the
can
Switch
like
2.
release. I thought it was announced that, or not all games backwards compatible. You can play any Switch 1 game on Switch 2, or am I wrong? I might even be wrong on that.
I don't know, because I do know that I think PPT2 might get a Switch 2
Right,
specific
like
release.
there will be like upgrades, and you can like
Yeah.
almost like what we did for the PS5 version of TEC. I think you can like maybe pay for the upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is the case. But I'm pretty sure all your Switch games will. There might be some exceptions, but we'll work on the Switch too.
I'm hoping, because if they don't have that, then I will, in fact, have a lot of questions for Nintendo. Definitely not ask them on Twitter or anything like that. Surely, definitely not.
All right, so we are leveling up here, and both players are handling this pretty well. This is a really close game. We haven't really dissected this too much. It's pretty straightforward, just classic rule set, no hold.
Yeah, both players are kind of even here.
Yeah, doing a great job maintaining this Tetris well from Mindswept. Grasspelt not too far behind, and really a similar line count. So Mindswept with a small lead, but this can change in this late game.
I also feel for Grasspelt here. A lot of those mini T-spins just trying to squeeze out a few more points. Unfortunately, it does not work here. Yeah. Actually, wait, because you have T-spins set to 0, any T-spin clears also get counted as 0. So going for T-spin, like, line clears, even though it should score you just like a single or a double, is not going to score you any points. So, very interesting decision making that might have to happen here.
Oh, sorry. I think I might have lagged the stream there with my alt tabbing. So, okay.
I'm just currently checking my DMs.
Yeah. Mindswept did pull away a little bit on the score lead, but Grasspelt, behind by about 30 lines, so can get caught up here. If anyone will go for any goofy catch-up T-spin. There's no T-spin, so any goofy catch-up.
No, there are no T-spins. Yeah. It was something that at least I did. I don't know if anyone else is also following along. If you go for any type of line clear with a T-spin, your score gets set to 0 for that line clear.
Really? So it's like negative.
Yeah.
You avoid them at all costs.
It's yeah, you want to avoid them at all costs for this one, because instead of getting your single or your double, you get 0.
That's funny. I didn't know that's what it did. I like that behavior.
Yeah, so
I don't know if it's like intended,
right there.
But it's kind of fun.
It might be intended here, and I think it is going to start eating away at Grasspelt's like ability to catch up, because I know that they have been trying to go for a lot of they're trying to go for a T-spin there.
Oh wait, 0 points. Oh look, we got one from Mindswept. Yeah, it's like you want to avoid that. It's funny because it's second nature to these players and a lot of us. It's like even as down stacking, you're going to use it, right?
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Grasspelt's brain is crossed. The modern Tetris player is struggling to find a non-T-spin continuation here.
Especially the way Grasspelt likes to play, where they like to go. I consider Grasspelt likes to play like stylistically and go for T-spins for fun and stuff.
Yeah,
but here we go. Now they're avoiding it.
I think they have to avoid it.
Oh man, this has to be a brain buster. Like, what do? I don't know how to not do a T-spin. That's funny. I'm glad you pointed that out. I would not have picked up on that.
I was paying attention to it because I'm like, oh wait, Grasspelt's going for a lot of T-spin zeros. Do they actually score any points? No, they don't. And then they just like went for a casual like T-spin single, and it didn't score anything. I'm like, oh, this is actually quite interesting now.
Jabberbuck saying, I don't play Tetris enough to learn T-spin setups. If I see it, I'll play into it, but I can't actively set it. Yeah, I mean, that's not the worst approach either. Like, if it's like so blatantly obvious, it's like, all right, I'll create an overhang That's one way to do it. You don't need to go out of your way per se. A lot of times it does just happen naturally when you misdrop.
Yeah. You can find a lot of very like straightforward and like simple T-spin setups where like when you're trying to stack your well, you already see the T shape and you go for the overhang. That's a really easy way to go for T-spins. You can get pretty far with it. I think that's probably the hardest thing when learning T-spins is knowing when to balance, like knowing how to balance when to go for them and how to go for them. Because sometimes you end up making the overhang on the wrong side, and that can cost you a few lines. But it looks like Mineswept already topped out here. 200,000 points. There are no T-spins, so this is going to be quite a bit of a tall hill to climb.
You know what? I think it's more brutal because these are two strong players. It really shows how brutal One Piece Preview No Hold is to maintain even a proper Tetris well with 20G. So
there are a lot of things that are going on here that the 20G does not make this any easier.
You really have to utilize what's called like pyramid stacking with that higher center and stuff like that to think on the fly a little easier. Which, I guess it's maybe the players may have underestimated how difficult it is to maintain proper Tetris wells. But very nice. That was a fun game. Thanks for the settings mix up, you two. And last game of the night, we're going to do Commodore Friday and Noriko, if Noriko is around. Make your way, Mr. FAQ, I believe, right? Or is that somebody else? I think it's Mr. FAQ as well. If not, maybe we'll find someone else to play Commodore Friday.
It is Noki. It is I believe is it Nokino? The other player?
Noriko.
Oh, yeah, Noriko is FAQ, and Nokino is
Okay.
Which I think is, which I never learned if it's Noriko or if it's Noriko, depending on like how you would pronounce it.
Commodore Friday.
Because I do know that they are a Hispanic player.
Very talented all-around Tetris player.
Yeah.
But we'll get somebody here for you Commodore Friday to end the night. But thank you everyone that did play so far tonight. If you want to play in the future, join the Discord at discord.gg/enhance and have that community events role selected, and you'll receive pings for every Friday. And early bird gets some worms, so make sure you stop by earlier and say you want to play so that you can guarantee that you get a match. Do we have any other stragglers? I saw Heartlix in the chat. I don't know what their rating is, but
I believe Heartlix wants to join, but they don't know how.
Okay. If they're around Commodore's rating,
and
Noriko's not around, we can see if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Oh, reset rules. Thank you. Chat knows me. Then, last game here, and then we'll check out the Zone Cup 3 that Tizago is hosting tonight. I haven't even looked at the bracket, so I'll definitely hang out for a second and see what's cooking over there. There's a community zone battle tournament, and be sure to give Tizago some support, and for taking the time and whatnot to put on community tournaments. Definitely awesome, and shows that they are a big fan of the game and want to support the community. But as far as the last match, I believe 8,500 Mellibub.
Yeah.
And I don't see Noriko, so let's see if we can find every replacement so that we're not here for another 10 minutes here.
I will be the replacement.
You want to?
I'm not sure actually.
You do.
I want to see what Heartlix says first.
Okay.
I could be nerfed. Oh,
perfect. We can do that.
Perfect.
Yeah. Heartlix, make your way to the lobby. Come on down. Cue the Price is Right music. Cool. So last game will be Heartlix and Commodore Friday to end the stream. Very nice. You would have a Price is Right emoji, Commodore Friday. Perfect. On point.
We love The Price is Right.
Great show.
I love the strategy of betting just $1 and seeing everyone bet above.
Yeah, it is funny to see the dichotomy between some of the people that know their Price is Right that are on there, and then some people are just like winging it.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Jeopardy. It's like a show I like to watch on a regular basis. It's a ritual, and some of the other game shows, man. Some of the contestants, they just can't hold them. They can't hold up skill wise for some of these games. Wheel of Fortune is a big culprit. I feel like some of the people that go on that show do not know how to play any word puzzle games. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to. I'm not here to hate. I'm here to embrace the love of our community, right? So, Conroe Friday's ready, and then Heartlex when you are ready. If you are around, we're ready for you. Sounds like okay. 1 sec. Nice. Oh, thanks, Pac-Man. Always happy to have you week by week here. You'll be away next weekend. Got it. Yeah, we're always happy to host, and yeah, this is ideally for people like you, Pac-Man, that just want to play casually and compete and hang out with the community. Hopefully you get that vibe from us doing this each Friday. So thank you, everyone that does make it week by week, and hopefully we do hit that vibe of just being casual, chilling out while still competing. But really, there's nothing on the line here. Why does your chat not show up? I think it should be good. Or did it not show up on the restream chat?
Oh, I think they were talking. Yeah. Yeah, Noriko's in the queue, but I don't think they answered recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Heartlex is in here, and then Commodore Friday. Oh, did they back out or something? There they go. Okay, both players are in here. When you're ready, I'm ready. Good luck, have fun. Not you, Mineswept. Oh wait, or is that a bug? Might be a bug. Okay. But yeah, when you two are ready, I'm ready. Oh, I want to show chat this. It's funny. I think it's just a bug, but we got Heartlex versus Heartlex. All right, mirror matchup. Good luck, have fun, everybody.
Let's go. It's Moodoos versus Moodoos all over again. All right, now will the real Heartlex please stand? Okay, they showed up on the right side. Level 9 speeds, interesting. Just slightly lower than level 10 speeds, which gets you the most amount of lines that you can clear. Yeah. I was just doing the math in my head. Like, yeah, level 10 is where we start to see you clear 100 lines to advance to the next level. But we do have a pretty interesting freestyle attempt here with Commodore's stack. Going for a, what is it, a 4-5 or a 5-4 stack? I believe it depends on where the iPlease gets dropped here. And Heartlex just goes for a 9-0 stack.
Yeah, the 5-4 is really fun for freestyling, and I don't know what it is about it. I love to build it. It's I feel like some of the T-spins come pretty naturally when it comes to 5-4, right? You don't really need to fish for it too much. You do have to keep in mind like parity, usually depending on where you put the T pieces and whatnot, to more easily or more naturally find your way into that 5-4 T-spin heavy stack. But yeah, my higher ultra scores tend to be from 5-4. I really appreciate it. It can be a bit trickier than say 6-3 or 7-2 because of the lack of like a clear pattern stack for 5-4. But, yeah. But yeah, it feels
usually you have more room to be able to level it out though. Like, I think this is probably like the pure freestyling setup
for sure.
Out of the bunch.
There's a lot of clever things you could do with it, as with most pattern stacks, but you can still like kind of do. There's like a Kaiden variant, I guess, not against the left or right side, but you can do it against the wall of the 5 or 4. You can still prop up S and Z pieces. I feel like I do that a lot on 5-4.
Yeah. We love our ZS props. A Kaiden is just a ZS prop.
Also, I feel like fractals come pretty naturally if you need to make use of the TPs.
Yeah.
I feel like I fractal the most in 5-4.
Yeah, for 6-3, it's really it's not really tricky, but like I feel like you have to eventually waste a T piece for it because there's just not enough room on the sides to like extend out your pieces. Well, there is for the 6 side, but not for the 3 side. Now, this is a really interesting lead here. Harlex does end up fighting a T-spin to try and cut down the lead, but Commodore has a about now it's 2-level lead. So this score is close. A lot closer than what the score line is currently saying, as I don't think this is a true pace lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, considering how Heartlix is playing, I think they're honestly in line, especially being ST spin heavy, as we were seeing. So pretty close so far.
They're fighting a lot of T-spins.
Mm-hmm. That could be what it takes to take out Commodore Friday, who is higher rated, but of course, like I mentioned earlier, rating isn't everything. But also, it could be a nice risk to take against somebody as consistently Tetrising as Commodore Friday, right? Like, that's how you beat pure Tetris, is mixing in T-spins. So, Harlex making the right moves, even if it's, like, not the most comfortable move to go for all these T-spins. Ooh. Unfortunate double Z-piece drop from Commodore Friday. I'm going to want to clean that up. So breaking back to back.
Yeah, I think Gemini decided to send an attack there at the very end and try to twin a piece.
Oh, yeah.
And the Z piece is there.
It did look like that.
Yeah, they have to go ahead and go for a 3-stick stack here. Are we going to see the iTalk? Ooh, okay, so they don't opt to go for skimming a few lines to get an STSD there. They opt to just move the eyepiece to the left.
Yeah, feeling a little bit of pressure from the speed, I think, might be messing with Commodore Friday. We'll see if they can get acclimated here.
Yeah, 15 is usually when you start seeing players shift between their preferred stacking patterns to something that pushes the wells over to the sides.
Well, especially 5-4. 5-4 is not ideal.
It's the
worst
5-4 might. Yeah, I think 5-4 wrote in their in their journals like all the horrors that 20G has bestowed on them, because your O piece is always going to have a trouble. Like, it's always going to have trouble. Your Z and S pieces are usually going to have trouble. And you're starting to see now Commodore switching over to a 6-3 stack.
Yeah, you pretty much have to. Even 6-3 is a little rough. Ideally 7-2 or 8-1. We don't have to talk about 8-1, but 9-0.
You can not talk about 8-1. Yeah. Unfortunately, you cannot do Tetris only in 8-1 stacking.
Yeah, it's impossible because you don't have enough long bars to maintain it, because you can only put long bars on the right. I mean, it can be fine to do for a little bit, or in classic.
But eventually,
because you might have. Well, even classic Tetris, you still get really good RNG, but you can maintain it for a little bit. Classic.
It's possible at least. Ooh, that's a really nice ice spin there from Commodore. And it looks like Harlex might have to find. Can they get the ice spin here? They do. Nice.
Very nice.
We love to see it. Ice spins here from both players.
Ooh, Commodore Friday mixing in T-spin double. Very crucial.
Nice. They don't have to go ahead and place the L there on the left side to try and prompt a T-spin single. But it looks like they might have something. Oh, okay, there we go. Nice.
Yeah, everything counts right now. So players are being careful. You can see Commodore Friday kind of slowing down and taking their time, like trying to fish for that efficiency, right? Not really playing for speed, which is ideal, especially in this scenario. Not like you can really take advantage of the 2-minute timer against either opponent in this situation. So, there we go. The square you can't move that square if there's a notch for it in the center, right? That's why you want to avoid. Yeah. You want a high center so you can move things to the left and right easily.
Yeah. Oh, I like this greet here from Commodore, but I think, yeah, the T piece was just sadly on vacation all the way at the end of the stack. And they do end up finding another T spin here. But I don't think they're able to, yeah, find any other setups. Heartlix. Oh, we're seeing a bit of a transition to a bit of like an ST stack. They do have to end up breaking it here because the T pieces were just not at the right time, but we might see an STSD.
Yeah, I was just thinking that maybe didn't quite see it. It's easier to like when you're spectating. It's easier to see setups that people might not see.
Yeah. I can backseat the entire time here right now, but especially if you don't know the setups by heart, it can be really tricky to find them. But they do find a nice T-spin there to, I think it was to start back-to-back. Which, speaking of which, you don't need to use a Tetris or an actual T-spin line clear to start back-to-back. You can use a mini. And usually that's what you see a lot of players do. Preferably you would want to do a T-spin single or a T-spin double or a Tetris, but you can always use a T-spin mini if you need to do it in a pinch.
I do like about Heartlix. It seems like they understand the assignment. They're like, okay, I'm behind. I need to take some risk here. It looks like they are trying to fish for some T-spins, despite the pressure of the higher gravity and whatnot. Here we go.
Right now, they found another T-spin. Nice. Commodore. Oh, they had the T-spin, but I think level 27 started to kick in. I think they might be able to play it out to 28, but there's a lot of misdrops here. And then the final frontier of the faster speeds is you start to see players, instead of trying to hard drop their way through it, and just like taking their time. And unfortunately, there was a misdrop there on level 27 that caused a top out. But this is
winnable.
It's possible, but it's possible, but it's not guaranteed. Harlech still needs to play well here.
Harlech has been doing really good in the last 10 lines. Found like 2 or 3 T-spins in a Tetris, so this is when you want to do it before the speed kicks in, because I don't think Heartlix is like super comfortable just based off what I see right now on 25 plus. It really does kick in each level. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, there's a level 25 jump, and I think they might be trying to find maybe one last T-spin here. Unfortunately, they don't see it, and the pieces were just locking in a little bit too fast. Okay, barely gets the eyepiece over. We started to see it, and again, the horrors of row 19. Oh no!
Oh, that was close though.
So close, but GG's.
Nearly identical on the line average there. Commodore Friday really just getting the line advantage, just being able to play a little bit further, to the point where like, hey, survivability might have been the move there, but even then, that's a tall order, right? So, really good match. That's a great match to end the stream tonight. Thank you too, Commodore Friday and Heartlix. I see Noriko did just appear. Sorry, Noriko, but that will be our final game.
They can play against me in a friendly match right now.
There we go. We can do that.
Yeah,
Noriko's a very strong score attack player too. So, cool. That will be it for tonight's showcase. Thank you, everyone that made it out and played. We got a lot of matches in today. It looked like we were going to have low turnout. Then I looked at the Discord and it was like 20 people. Like, oh, all right, okay.
Right at the right at the end, everyone was turning in.
But we'll say hi to let's see, Zone Cup Live, or is Tizago Live with Zone Cup 3. We're gonna throw a raid on Twitch to Tizago's stream, and I'll share it on YouTube if anyone's watching there as well. Let's see here. But there's a community zone battle tournament happening right now. Oh, they are live. Great. Cool. So let me drop that in a restream chat. We're going to be moving over to twitch.tv/Tizago Tayo Yaiba. Excuse my Ohio accent there. But yes. Say hi and show them some support. Looks like Lyra and Commando are on the comms. Very nice. Our very own enhanced mod Commando. And yeah, everyone have a good night. Have a good weekend wherever you are in the world. And hang out with us on the Discord for tomorrow's Weekend Ritual and Connected Versus. We'll see you next Friday, I believe, is Classic Score Attack. Let me double check on that, actually. I think my clock is correct. my mental clock there. Yes. It'll be classic score attack next week, so looking to play the classic 1989 version that was released on the NES, kind of recreated in Tetris Effect. That is the Friday for you, and/or Saturday morning if you're in honestly, like Shock.
Wait, 89 or 84?
The NES version was 89. 84 is the Electronica.
Okay.
Yeah, we were not playing.
Okay.
That's on Tetris Forever.
Okay,
but
cool.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember my times.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna stop there. Thank you all for participating. Let me throw the raid here on Twitch. I need to pull it up in a separate window. And yeah, let's see who is playing there. Sorry, one moment. All right, there we go. All right, so say hi to Tizago and support Zone Cup 3. And if you ever want to play in one of these tournaments in the future, we have a community tournament channel on the NES Discord. Make sure you have the tournament updates role, and you'll be notified when any community tournament like this is happening. They're typically all free to play, and it's a good. If you're looking to even just like play any form of community competition, whether you're casual or you want to be a pro player or whatever it may be, definitely check it out. Community tournaments are the best place to start out. So, all right, we'll see you all. Everyone have a good weekend, and see you next week.